Welcome to lesson number 2, Sources of Energy. Today your objectives are to differentiate between forms of energy and sources of energy, and to describe several kinds of renewable and non-renewable energy sources. This lesson will help you to distinguish among forms of energy, such as electrical, mechanical, chemical, light, sound, and nuclear, and sources of energy such as the renewable and non-renewable energy sources. We'll also help you compare the time span of renewability for fossil fuels and the time span of renewability for alternative fuels. Your big questions for today, write them down nice and clear in your notebook and make sure you answer them by the end of the lesson, are: where does the energy we use come from? And what makes an energy source non-renewable or renewable? Let's first talk about forms of energy versus sources of energy. Forms of energy are all the different kinds of potential and kinetic energy that exist. These are what we reviewed back in lesson 1. Radiant and light energy, nuclear energy, chemical energy, electrical, sound, thermal, and mechanical energy are the different forms of energy. Sources of energy are the different things or resources that we humans collect and use for our energy needs. We convert various sources of energy from their beginning form into electrical energy. Then we use electrical energy for all kinds of things. We also use energy in other ways, but that is the biggest one to think about. So, let's think about our energy sources. How long can we keep using them? All of the energy sources we use are renewable or non-renewable. Renewable energy sources are constantly in supply or naturally make more of themselves. For example, the light energy from the sun can be used, and more sunlight will keep streaming to Earth each day to use again. Non-renewable energy sources get used up over time and cannot naturally replace themselves in a reasonable amount of time. For example, coal can be burned for energy, but coal took so many millions of years to form that it cannot replace itself in time for us to use it again. Take a look at this stop-motion video on renewable and non-renewable resources to find out more and see some cute visual examples.
Renewable energy, pronounced renewable energy. It's any natural resource that can replace itself quickly and dependably. It's an energy source that can never ever be used up. It can also be called by its synonyms, alternative energy or green energy. But what we really want to know is which resources are renewable and why. Solar power converts sunlight into electricity. The sun has been emitting light energy for billions of years, and it will continue to naturally replenish that energy for an estimated 7 billion years. For this reason, solar is considered a renewable energy source. Geysers result from water being superheated by magma at the Earth's core. The Earth's core constantly produces thermal heat energy. Whatever thermal energy we transform into electricity won't put a dent in the core's temperature. That heat is continually replaced. This is why geothermal power is derived from a renewable energy source. Wind power turns motion energy into electricity. Windy areas make for great windmill farms where motion energy is harvested from a continuous breeze. Next time you see a windmill, look a little closer to see a naturally replenishing renewable energy resource. Fossil fuels. Fuels that were formed deep within the earth from plant and animal remains that are millions of years old. This material can be burned once and only once for energy. You may also know it by its synonyms, non-renewable resources or unsustainable energy. The three major fossil fuels we use as energy sources are coal, natural gas, and oil. So I ask you, are fossil fuels renewable or non-renewable energy sources? Well, let's find out. Fuels made from fossils, like coal, are limited. Once it's mined and burned for energy, it's gone. Unless the dinosaur age happens again, coal will not be replaced, so it's non-renewable. Natural gas and oil, also fossil fuels, are non-renewable. There's only limited amounts of fossil fuels. Once they are pulled from the earth and burned for energy, they're gone. That's why they are non-renewable energy sources. All right, time to review. Energy, harvested from wind, is replaced quickly and naturally. Is this a renewable resource?
You betcha.
This pump extracts oil, a fossil fuel that's burned for energy and cannot be replaced. Is it a renewable resource?
No way.
Look at this energy resource group. Is it renewable?
Why, yes. Yes, it is.
What about this group? Is it renewable?
Not even close. I think I'm done here.
Welcome back. Before you go, make sure your notes include 3 examples of renewable energy sources, 3 examples of non-renewable energy sources, a clear explanation of the difference between renewable and non-renewable energy sources, and the difference between forms of energy and sources of energy. If you've got all that, you're ready to move on to the activity. If there's anything you're not sure about, you have any questions or need to get in touch with me, please send me a BBIM, send me an email, give me a phone call, or talk with me in Cyber Cafe or class. Have a great day.